Wait, I know what you're thinking. You're like, there's no way. And I'm like, well, take down the trip to memory lane with me. Imagine it's currently 2004. I'm only 11 years old. And what if I told you that back then, the PCs with the amazing RAM, the CPU, the GPU doesn't really exist? What if I told you that streaming services didn't start till 2007 with Netflix, and it started off with DVDs? What if I told you that YouTube didn't exist till 2005? What if I told you that smartphones didn't exist either, or tablets? You couldn't watch all these streaming services at the blink of an eye with ease. You couldn't do that. But one day, that all changed. Was it perfect? No. But you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll understand.
Now you can go anywhere you want. Your cartoons will follow. With Game Boy Advance Video, you can watch episodes of Pokemon, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob SquarePants, and more on your Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance Video.
If you were a cartoon lover, that was the era. The top three: Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel. There was even Saturday morning cartoons. Every time you went up to the TV and you saw one of these amazing cartoons, you were just so excited. You were glued to the TV. It was such a beautiful experience. So many different shows, so many characters, each one with their own personalities and their quirks. Man, it was just an amazing time. Like I said, if you were alive during this time and you were just watching these cartoons, it was like nothing else. It was just absolutely amazing. It was definitely the golden era for cartoons. P4K? Absolutely not. Especially back in the day. I think this is less than 240p. I think it runs at like maybe 30 frames per second, 60 if that. So it's not that great when it comes to quality. But why would I want to collect this at this day and age when, like I said, we have iPads, we have PCs, we have smartphones, you know, we have all these libraries where we can watch all this media. I don't necessarily need to collect this little cartridge. But the reason why I personally want to is because I feel an attachment in a sense. It's something I grew up with. It's something that even till this day, it kind of blows my mind how in typically a game cartridge, one that I would play on my Game Boy Advance or my Game Boy Advance SP, or even the DS Lite, I could pop this in, play a game, and you tell me that you can actually add episodes on this? You can add cartoons on this? I can watch cartoons off of this? Honestly, when I was a kid, that blew my mind. Like I said, even now it still does. It's incredible what technology can do. And another thing too is that not only were video games an escape for me, but so were cartoons. The reason why it was an escape for me was because when I was a kid, I felt like I was awkward. I was bullied, both physically, mentally. I always felt like I didn't fit in. And with cartoons, I always felt like I escaped reality for a second and I lived in that cartoon. When I have kids and their kids, I can pass this on to them and be like, hey, maybe 30, 40, 50 years from now, I could be like, hey guys, look, this is how I used to watch cartoons on a cartridge. And they'll be like, oh, you're so antique for that. Oh, you're so old school. Oh, you're so old. You're so this, you're so that. But this, in a sense, this is part of history. This is part of my childhood. And I feel like this is what it's all about. So that being said, I've only got one so far. And there's 35 total, which means I'm still missing 34 of these. Some are rarer than others. And on 2 of them, I have a lead. So follow me on this journey as I try to collect all 35 GBA video cartridges. Will I be able to collect them all? Honestly, I'm optimistic. I'm not gonna rush this. I'm gonna take my sweet time with this, because every single cartridge that I find is gonna be part of that journey. Part of reliving the childhood memories that I had. Because nowadays, I feel like it's kind of sad, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they removed Courage the Cowardly Dog from all streaming services. So right now you can't stream it at all. So the only way to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog is through the DVD collection. Or on some of these cartridges, there was some Courage the Cowardly Dog episodes. And that's one of my favorite cartoons of all time. So this is what it's about, guys. It's about, reliving those amazing memories that you had, and hopefully sharing it with others, and hopefully maybe inspiring others, or just sharing my story with you guys as to why I feel like this is so important to me. Like, this is part of me, part of who I am, and I'm just excited to do this. And like I said before, this is kind of like a journal for me. That way in 30, 50 years from now, I can look back at these videos like, man, look how young I was. Man, look at what I was doing, Yeah, it's just great. But yeah, just join me, guys, on this journey, on this collection. And I'm super excited to dive into this. And that's it for me, guys. Nostalgia Drives Me out.